story time. There's actually a clip to this. But I can't be fucked finding it. Right, what did I miss? It just has to do heads up, right? I reckon malt soda, not a regular soda drink, but this would be my pick if I ever had the choice. Malt soda? Oh, that's chocolate, isn't it? Because there's these chocolate things that I eat called Maltesers. I'm sure you guys all know what Maltesers are. Is that the same thing? As memory serves, humans were an anomaly in this world. Technically, you're actually playing the bad guys here. No spoilers since you've played this before. Yeah. Spoilers! Oh my god, how could you do this to me? I've only been playing this game for 20 years! More or less. Ah, okay. Right, story time. Wait. Yeah. Nolani Academy. Book 1, The Law of Guild Wars. Devona stepped out of the swirling circle of light into a small, roofless room and drew her sword. She didn't know exactly where she was, only that it was somewhere in the ruins of Nolani. It didn't matter. Anywhere was better than being trapped inside the academy at Draskia with the char panning down the rotting wooden door. So the intro to Guild Wars video is them, I think, them going through where we were just before. Hi Flea, how are you? Every time I yank a jawbone from a skull and ran it into an eye socket, I know I'm building a better future. Prince Rook has been the first through the portal. He stood hunched over something, now on the other side of the room. The flaming scepter mages, they had rested crouched there as well. Just as they were leaving Draskia, the group had stumbled upon the fabled horned Stormcaller. Devona had of course heard of the legendary weapon, but until she had seen it with her own eyes, she had assumed, as most people did, that it was only a myth. Doing good. Oh, that's good. Errol, the first of the mages they had rescued from the Char, had seemed fairly certain the horn was the answer to all of Ascalon's problems. Devona wasn't so sure, and she was in good company. The prince had registered his reservations as well. How could a horn hold the key to restoring a ruined kingdom to its former glory? Well, no matter what role the horn played in the kingdom's future, it didn't hurt to have another weapon in the war against the beast from the north. Been a minute since I've been here. Yeah, I'm guessing because life has happened. Welcome to the madhouse. Hey, we all gotta gather somewhere. May as well be here. The portal behind Devona flared as Sin, Aiden, and Minlo stepped out. So this is what Nolani looks like now, said Sin, materializing out of the swirling miasma. She kicked at the reddish dirt with the toe of her boot, uncovering part of the ornate marble flooring buried in rubble. An improvement, if you ask me. Don't worry, I don't buy it since the lawyers told me not to. Exactly, lol, haha. You can buy it if you want to. I'm well, answer. Aiden chuckled, knocking an arrow to his bow and scanning the area. Still hold prejudices, do we? In the best of times, Nolani was a third-rate city, replied the elementalist, still pushing the dirt around. Now it's as good as any other place, just as ruined as the next city. Minlo stepped around Sin, letting his hand brush across her hip as he did. Oh. This building was a holy place, said the monk. He crossed the small room and approached the battered statue of Dwayna. It was an academy, corrected Prince Rook. The sister academy to the one we left in Draskur. He'd finished examining the horn and now approached the group. Don't venture too far, Devona warned Menlo. We don't yet know who inhabits this place. What the hell did I just start? Lol, depends on what you meant to start. Oh yeah. Heads up, Crystal. We're all nuts around here. And we all bully each other and act all weird. Minlo nodded as he bent down and picked up a broken piece of marble carved in the shape of a feathered wing. Lifting it from the ground, he tried to place it back on the statue of the goddess. It fit where it was supposed to, but it wouldn't stay put. Menlo held it in place, admiring the temporarily whole goddess. And RPGing is an art and a challenge. Okay, fine. I'll go to the corner and face the wall for the next few minutes. That will learn me. It's funny you say that, Crystal, because when people play up here, I'm like, alright, go stand in the corner. Then after a moment, he respectfully placed the wing on the ground at Dwayne's feet. My friends, the walls are not far. We can get to Rin within the hour. Prince Rurik turned and headed out of the small room. Come, we need to bring the horn to my father, the king. Devona and the others followed the prince out to a larger courtyard. It was much like the last academy. Though the outside walls seemed to be mostly intact, the roof was gone, and the windows smashed. A pair of defensive magical obelisks sat perched atop the front wall. Devona assumed they were erected during the guild wars. Academies were among the most popular targets for raiding guilds. Depriving a foreign nature of its most promising young heroes was a good way to avoid having to fight them when they were fully ready for battle. The doors of the gate were still shut, but from this vantage point, Devona could see the silhouette of the great northern wall through the academy's ruined facade. The archers on the upper level caught the morning light as they rose proudly into the sky as if to say, "We will never fall." "Home," said the warrior. So let's face it, it's been a long weekend, and now we get to start the next week. Oh, really? Yeah, I had a shit day. I got unnecessarily bullied and told off for something that wasn't my fault at work. So I've been in tears today. Yay, go me. On top of all the fucking things I've been dealing with for the past month or so. Aiden placed his hand on his shoulder. We'll be there soon. Prince Rurik continued down a set of smashed stairs to the base of the big wooden front gates. Is there a switch up there? He called back. Mage Error was the first reply. Yes, my lord. It's up here, just on the rampart. I'll get it. Very good, replied Rurik. Devona, Sin, Aiden, and Menlo headed down the ramp to the prince, and the rescued mages followed. Directly ahead of them, in the very place it landed after smashing through the academy roof, lay the remnants of a huge, jagged, magical crystal. Sorry about work. Should never get yelled or even blamed for something you definitely didn't do. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. It is what it is, I guess. Where am I up to? Devona has seen this sort of debris all over Escalon. There are several crystals like this one still in the commons just south of the wall. The sight of them always seemed to chill down the warrior's spine. They reminded her of the searing, of the carnage that battle brought and the people who had died in it. She shook her head, trying to clear the images so she could focus on the task at hand. It was still early morning, and in the shadow of the front gate, it was quite dark. Sin ran her hand along the metal frame of the gate. Might as well have been made of parchment, she said. Errol leaned over the rampart edge just above where the group was standing. I am ready, my prince. As are we. Rurik waved his hand. Errol's face disappeared from view, and the neglected mechanisms that operated the gate began to move. The decrepit English metal and wood gave several loud creaks and complaints, but the gate swung wide. Before the academy, the scene was mostly what Devona expected. Dust and bits of debris covered the ground. Burnt trunks reached toward the sky like so many skeletal fingers, a haunting remnant of what was once a lush tree-lined garden. You just keep pushing forward and let the negativity stay behind you, and just know you can do this and no one can tear you down. Thank you, Flea. Yeah. Always working progress, trying to reach that happy place. Dust and bits of debris covered the ground. Burnt trunks reached toward the sky like so many skeletal fingers, the haunting remnants of what was once a lush tree-lined garden. But as the gate swung fully open, Devona was granted another view. Char Warband, shouted Menlo. Close the gates! The plaza before the academy was crawling with Char, fiery upright beasts of huge fangs and even bigger claws. In the centre of the camp, built out of tree limbs and straw, sat a towering, three-legged flaming effigy, a tribute to their fiery gods. When the gate opened, every one of the fairy beasts stopped what they were doing and charged the now exposed academy. Sin was closest to the gate. Closing her eyes and crossing her arms, she rose into the air, incanting the words to a spell. Always remember, adding laxatives to your working enemy drinks is always an option, but it'll make it very messy to not do it. Yeah, see, I'm a cleaner at work, so that's not a good idea, because guess who would be cleaning it if it was really, intense? So I'm good. I am good. I get enough of that on the people that can't control the bells. The child were fast, and they reached the open gate in a flash. Devona broke into a run, sprinting to shield the elementalists. Oh, my lanta. It's funny because I can still read because I'm actually reading off the manual. I got the manual open. So I could have just kept it on there and kept reading. Oh, that's awesome. The child were fast, and they reached the open gate in a flash. Devona broke into a run, sprinting to shield the elementals from the bestial onslaught. Bringing her sword up in a powerful arc, the warrior caught the first char axe fiend in the breastplate, knocking it backward and leaving a huge gash in his chest. Yep, body blocking. Devona stepped in front of Sin and into the gap left by the falling char, reversing her blade and slashing the other way. She struck steel, connecting with another char blade meant for her head. She cried out as she bashed the attack aside. Running the length of her sword up the char's axe, she thrust the tip of her rin blade between the seams of the creature's armor, puncturing fur and flesh and jabbing through to where, at least on a human, there should be a lung. The beast howled and squirmed as it struggled to free itself from Devona's sword. So I almost made a zero death survivor. Oh, almost. Oh no. I was 250k away from survivor 3. Oh no, what happened? What happened and where? That fucking sucks, man. I hope you get it back soon. Which, you know, you gotta be motivated and grind it now. Oh, that totally sucks. Another axe-fiend charged into view, coming up behind Devona. The warrior struggled to pull her blade free of her victim, but the creature convulsed and slumped toward the wound, closing its flesh down tight around the stuck weapon. The new attacker raised its axe, and Devona spun away, leaving only one hand on her rin blade. Despite her quick move, the creature's axe came down on her arm. Devona hissed and braced for the impact. Her skin flushed with the blue-white glow of divine magic, and the char's weapon seemed to bounce off her flesh. Nice catch, Menlo, said Devona through gritted teeth. So, Tahak mission took me almost a year for that one. Oh, that's the, oh no. That's that party invitation one, eh? And you have the harpies at the end? Yeah. Oh no. Did the guards all die? That mission, the mime always gets me when I try to do the bonus. I get so nervous trying to do it. A pair of arrows whizzed past Devona's ear, catching the axe-fiend in the shoulder, knocking it back and pinning the first creature to the wooden beam of the open gate. Clear of immediate threats, Devona lifted a boot and placed it on the wounded char, still attached to her blade. Get off, she shouted as she kicked with all of her might. The rin blade came free with a sickening rip. She whipped it to one side, clearing the steel of the char's black blood. At that moment, Sin lifted her head and extended her arms, shouting the last words of her spell. The sky above lit up, and huge cones of sputtering flame rained down all around. Those char within a few steps of the gate were pummeled with magical balls of fire. Their fur caught quickly, and their flesh began to bubble. The beast let out nerve-rattling squeals, and many fell dead where they stood. No, you're fine. I got the worst spawn. Instead of 1 happy at the end, I had 5. Oh, really? They didn't change skills from the last mission. Oh, shit. And the guards only do so much. Oh no, that sucks, eh? And all it takes is fucking up slightly for something, and then it just ruins whatever you're trying to do. No, you're fine for interrupting. 10 minutes, mouse in the house. Their fur caught quickly and their flesh began to bubble. The beasts let out nerve-rattling squeals and many fell dead where they stood. Those who hadn't been caught in the flaming rain stopped in their tracks waiting for the conflagration to subside. The gates began to close again, pushing the bodies of dead Char out of the academy entrance as they did. "Devona, get back!" shouted Menlo. The warrior retreated to within the relative safety of the closing gates just as Sin's spell subsided. When the flames stopped falling, the Char rushed to the door again. Most of them were caught outside, left to pummel their weapons against the heavy wooden door, but one made a dash, squeezing through the gate just before it closed. Oh, those are cute. Oh, they would have been hidden from the temporary manual because it's the first overlay, so they wouldn't have been spotted flying around properly. Oh yeah, and like the chat is covered. I just love emotes. Yeah. The beast eyed each of the Escalons, grunting once, then turned toward a flaming scepter mage. With a bounding leap, it jumped on the weak, unarmed man. The mage screamed as a Char dug into his flesh. "No!" Devona closed on the beast, slashing down on it from behind. The blade hit the creature in the neck, severing the monster's head from its shoulders with just a single blow, and it slumped to the ground. Lovely. When they rushed to push the creature's carcass from on top of the mage's body, the man was barely conscious. He had been badly mauled by the Char. His face was slashed and he coughed blood. Dropping to his knees beside the man, the monk laid his hands on the mage's wounds. With a quick word, a flood of blue-white energy crossed over from the monk to the wounded man. From outside, the sounds of Char at the gate echoed into the desolate courtyard. "Great," said Sin. "We went from being trapped inside one academy to being trapped inside another. At least this one has thicker walls," said Aiden. "There's another passage," Prince Rook pointed to the east. "The same direction as the huge magical crystal in the middle of the academy that leads out and around to the wall." "Then what are we waiting for?" said Sin, starting off to the east. "Let's get that little buggle of yours to the king." "What?" "And be done with this." Menlo looked up from his administrations to the wounded mage. "Sin, please, you aren't helping. I don't think it is wise to take the mages outside of the academy unless we're sure the way is clear," interjected Aiden. "They're weak from their long imprisonment and are ill prepared to fight. Outside the gate we cannot guarantee their safety. At least here they are not in immediate danger." "Agreed," said Prince Rook. "What do you propose, Aiden?" The ranger leaned on his bow. "Let us four venture out and ambush the Char from behind," he said, indicating Sin, Devona, Menlo, and himself, and me, and the henchies, with a wave of his hand. "Once we've cleared the beast from the gate, then we can take the mages home." Prince Rook's face grew grim. "What you propose is very risky. It's not something I would ask of you." He looked down at the wounded mage, then around at each of the other Ascalons with him. He nodded. "But if you think you can succeed, then I give you my blessing." "About time," said Sin. "Come on, let's go." Devona made eye contact with Aiden. She shook her head in disgust, but the ranger just smiled and chuckled. The elementalist's antics always seemed to amuse him as much as they irritated Devona. Menlo finished tending to the fallen flaming scepter mage, then stood and joined the group as they marched up and out the back passage to the academy. "We will man the defensive obelisks while you're away," the prince shouted after them as he helped the downed mage get back to his feet. "We'll watch for you. Once the way is clear, we'll open the gates and join you in the trek back to the wall." He stood up straight, and in his best military style, Prince Rook, the heir to the throne of Aslan, saluted the warrior, the monk, and the elementalist and the ranger. As the prince had said, a door in the eastern corner led out of the academy. Unlike the one at the front, this one was already open. "Guess this place isn't as safe as you thought," quipped Sin. "Then we should move swiftly to make sure no harm comes to the good prince," replied Aiden. "Without us, there's little help if the Char get in." Devona led the way through the door and up a winding rocky path out the back of the academy to the northeast. Several hundred yards up the path, Aiden grabbed Devona by the shoulder and stopped her. Placing a finger to his lips, "Shh, With a nod and a flick of his eyes, he indicated the hanging rocks overhead. Devona craned her neck, listening. She could just make out a slight sound, a scraping, like someone dragging something. She looked at Aiden. Char, she whispered. Aiden shook his head. Devourers. The ranger dropped to his knee and laid a pile of arrows out on the ground, pulling a small vial from a pouch at his belt. He poured a few drops of vicious? That's supposed to be vicious? Green liquid on their tips. Poison arrows. And then he knocked one to his bone, returning the other to his quiver, headed up the path. The others fell into step behind him. Cresting the rise, Devona could see the double stinger tail, hooked claws, and thick carapace of the plague devourer. Only once it's in. Walk in the park. Sorry, this is probably boring. I don't care. Aiden sighted down the shaft of his poison arrow and let it fly. It struck the creature, puncturing its chitinous hide with a crunching pop. Though it was on target, the arrow didn't kill the beast, and it turned toward the group, its tail waving in the air. Devona raised her sword over her head and charged in. As she came, the ground around the plague devourer began to shift and move. Small rocks tumbled away, and a pair of carrion devourers emerged from the baked earth. That's more like it, shouted Sin. They brought a smile to Devona's lips, and she gripped her sword tighter, advancing on the newly arrived vermin and swinging her blade downward onto one creature's head. The carrion devourer staggered backward under the blow. The plague devourer's tail stopped waving, and it pointed them at the warrior, casting something on her just before it fell dead from Aiden's poisoned arrow. Devona's knees grew weak, and her legs struggled to keep her upright. Her sword grew heavy in her hands, and as she swung at the creature again, her rin blade rebounded off the creature's shell, hardly making a dent. The plague devourer's hex had sapped her strength. Weakness. I know all too well. The carrion devourers closed on the warrior, battering her from both sides. Devona's armor took some of the impact, but the creature's mighty pinches, oh my lord, slashed her across the forearm and down one leg. When you read too much in a row, your brain's like, blah, blah, blah. Especially out loud. Devona pushed herself to move more quickly, trying to parry the attacks of both creatures despite the hex that weakened her. She wasn't fast enough. A pincher raked across Devona's shoulder, puncturing her armor and dropping her to her knees. Something hit her hard in the chest, knocking her to the ground. Devona opened her eyes. A devourer sat perched atop her, its beady eyes peering down. The creature's mass flattened her lungs, and breathing was almost impossible. Great, she thought, squished by a bug. Not the most heroic way to go. Devona's vision clouded and her ears rang as consciousness began to slip away. Sound of Sin's voice came to her distantly. The elementalist spoke the words of an incantation Devona recognized, and a surge of adrenaline brought her fully back to consciousness. The ground around her lifted up with flames. Spreading out in a wave, the magical fire washed over the downed warrior, roasting the two devourers inside their shelves, turning them into crispy little curled up balls. This is what it feels like to play as a warrior. Devona shoved the dead devourer off her, then slumped back against the ground. She looked up at the elementalist. Well done. Sin shrugged naturally. May the goddess Swain protect you, said Menlo. Devona could feel his strength returning as a monk lifted the plague's devourer's hex. Hex removal. When you're ready, said Aiden, watching the path. We should move on. We're not far from the front of the academy. Devona took a few deep breaths as she regained all that she had lost, then got to her feet and again headed down the path. The group travelled for some time until Devona heard what she thought was the sound of crackling fire. Must be the effigy, she said. Aiden nodded his agreement. The ground was torn and shifted here. Near the edge of the path, the earth fell away, dropping down below where Devona could easily see. Moving closer to the edge, the warrior climbed up on a large boulder and peered over. The other three followed suit. In the valley below them stood the plaza and the flaming effigy they had seen in the middle of the Char camp. The beasts were attacking the academy, shooting arrows over the wall and smashing the weapons against the wooden gate. Hydrate. Thank you. I'm definitely going to the bathroom after this. Devona could just make out the flaming scepter mages up on the wall. Back. I think I got it. Oh, did you go AFK? Welcome back. Devona could just make out the flame receptor mages up on the wall, powering the defensive obelisk. Jags of lightning shot down from the wall, catching the nearest char and turning it into a burnt, smouldering pile. From the looks of things, others too had fallen prey to the magical defenses. Their dead bodies lay on the ground at the base of the wall, first standing straight up. Don't forget, you can always ask your Tommy to this. So how's housing for registered sex offenders? Okay. As they watch, a large mean-looking char barked something in their guttural language. A group of 6 char lifted the trunk of a fallen tree from the ground and proceeded to charge the gate with it. I couldn't do that, but if it works for you, then who am I to argue? It must be the leader, said Aiden, pointing to the order barking char. Then that's the one we should take out first, said Sin, standing up from her hiding place. Sin, wait, said Menlo, but it's too late. The elementalist shouted and threw hands out before her. Fireball launched from the tips of her fingers, arching out and smashing into the big char. The char leader looked up at the ridge, then pointed. A volley of flaming arrows followed. Now you've done it, said Aiden. Standing up, he launched 2 arrows into the midst of the group and dropped back into a crouch. The char's volley went soaring over. Devona could hear the flames flicker as they passed her head. A large crash sounded from below, and everyone lifted their heads to see. The char were using the tree trunk as a battering ram. That gate won't last long, said Aiden. Devona stood up and backed away from the edge. Then we'd best get down there. As one, the 4 heroes dashed down the path into the middle of the char camp. Take the axe, fiend, shouted Devona, and she charged in ahead of the others. That which is taken shall be returned. That which have been broken shall be mended. That which have displeased me shall be struck down at the hands of mine army. Menlo's words grew softer as the warrior ran, but the effects of his magic were far-reaching, and she could feel her body tingle with divine power. The fist of Sin's fire spells impacted the creature's chest. A step before, Devona slashed the beast across its arm. The char let out a howl, then raked its axe across the warrior's face, cutting a deep wound into her flesh. But as quickly as the wound was made, her skin knitted itself together again. Gotta love the monk, she grunted, raising her sword up over her head and bringing it down with the force of her entire body. Don't tell Shin that. Gotta love the monk. Don't tell him. Her rune blade cut deep, and the creature spouted blood. A pair of fiery arrows smashed into the axe-fiend's face, and he went down. Who's next? Shouted Devona, her adrenaline pumping. Arrows rained down on her as a pair of char stalkers perched on a small hill ahead answered her inquiry. One glanced off the chainmail protecting her belly, another clanged off her armored skin. Stop fighting in the chat. In 3 huge steps, the warrior closed on the 2 char stalkers, spinning as she neared them. Devona gained momentum and then slashed at the closest. Her sword cut through the char's bow and dug into the beast's gullet. The creature's inside spilled out, and it dropped to the ground, quivering and howling in pain. The second char stalker knocked an arrow to its bow and let it fly. This close range, the head of the arrow punched through Devona's armor, cutting into the front of her leg and exiting out the back. Devona shrieked in pain and frustration. Oh, cripple! Limping on the freshly wounded limb, turning her blade around, she shoved the tip into the creature's face, lodging it in its mouth. Holding the hilt with both hands, she drove the sharpened point straight up into the char's skull and then out the back of his head. Fucking hate being crippled. Yanking her weapon back, she let the char's lifeless corpse fall to the ground beside his companion. Gate, Menlo shouted. They breached the gate. Devona looked up. The academy gate was smashed in, and the char warband leader was climbing over it. To the prince, she shouted, and took off toward the gate with the others close behind. Running with all of her might, Devona drove herself into a frenzy. Her rune blade danced left and right. Where a char stepped in front of her, it fell. They came at her from all sides, and she took wounded after wounded, but each time Menlo was there to patch her up. She took wound after wound, but each time Menlo was there to patch her up. Arrows flew and fire rained down. The group of 4 took on 3 times in their number in char. They fought like cornered lynxes, the hope of their nation hanging in the balance. As Devona neared the gate, she could hear the roar of a char mixed with the shouts of the prince. You are Pox or Nazcon, yelled Rourke, and I am the cure. Flashes of light issued over the walls, Spells went off every few seconds, lighting up the ruined plaza with an eerie magical glow. Cutting down the last char on her way, Devona leaped through the smashed gate and hurried up into the courtyard. On the academy wall, Prince Rook stood bravely in front of Errol and the other mages. His flaming sword held the char leader at bay, but as a group, the prince and the flaming scepter mages were retreating and running out of room fast. The fight to the gate had taken a lot out of Devona, but she pressed on, climbing up the ruined steps in pursuit of the char warband leader. Right behind her, Devona could hear the others climb through the gate. 4-on-1, she thought. I like those odds. An arrow hit the big char in the back of the leg, causing the warband leader to turn around. You looking for me, Fuzzy? Shouted Devona, coming up behind the creature. Aiden's well-placed shot had hobbled the beast. It tried to follow the prince and the mages as they dashed along the wall, but its movement was slowed. Devona moved in closer. The char growled at her as she stalked around it, staying just outside its reach. Hey, shouted Sin, catch! Huge ball of fire slammed in the char's side. The resulting splash of magic consumed the creature, and Devona shielded her eyes from the blinding flash. The creature came stumbling out of the blast, its fury hide ablaze. That ought to do it, she thought, but instead of burning to a crisp, the warband leader seemed to draw strength from the flames. It looked like some sort of demon, flaming and cackling as it came on. It raised its huge axe in the air, bringing it down on the warrior with both hands. Devona set her feet and stood her ground. As the flaming char advanced, the warrior raised a blade and lunged forward, shouting, "For Azkaban!" The blades passed in midair. The creature's axe cleaved into her armor. The warrior's sword caught the growling beast just below the neck. The tip slipped past its crude metal chest plate and into soft flesh. Devona lost her grip on her rune blade as she staggered back, her shoulder wounded heavily from the beast pounding. The char warband leader dropped its axe, clawing at its throat. It let out a strangled cry, a hoarse gurgling like the last breath of a drowning dog. Another arrow struck the beast and it lost its balance. Falling to one side, it caught itself on the edge of the academy wall. The creature struggled for a moment longer as the flames slowly went out. Then its chest heaved once, and its body went slack. The char's huge head flopped backward, causing it to topple over, twisting as it fell over the edge of the academy into the ruined plaza below. Sin was the first to reach Devona's side. "You're right," Devona smiled. "Yeah, nothing a little Menlo's divinity can't fix." Two women walked down the battered stairs to the courtyard where the prince and the major stood talking to the ranger and the monk. "The way's clear, my lord," said Aiden, bowing before the prince. Rook grabbed the ranger by his shoulder and lifted him to his feet. "Come, my friends," he said, strapping the legendary horn storm collar to his back. "We are almost home." As a group, they headed out of the Nolani Academy toward the Great Northern Wall. And that's everything I've read in the manual, story lore-wise. So, Nolani Academy. None of Azkaban's academies, oh my lord, of magic remain intact after this hearing. In its prime, the Academy of Nolani was known all across Turia as one of the most prestigious schools of magic on the entire continent. Ambassadors from Awe and Crida often made special arrangements to have their children study here, even though they were not of Azkaban descent. Sorry, more story time. Rooms of Sumia. After seeing great feats of cunning and strength, Prince Rook decided to take the budding hero on a special mission. I should have read this before I read the other one. Oh well. The prince wanted to penetrate Char lines and rescue Azkalonians held as prisoners of war. Rook led the small strike team from prisoner camp to prisoner camp, but his enthusiasm for the mission brought them face to face with a much larger force than they could handle, deep in Char territory. Prince Rook urged the party on toward the ruins of the Royal Academy. Where they made their stand, they held back the Char long enough to open the academy doors and retreat to temporary safety. Inside, the prince reclaimed the mouthpiece of the legendary horn Stormcaller. Only then did he activate the runes and escape through a portal linking the ruins with the academy at Nolani. The mages who assisted our heroes stayed behind to continue the valiant fight against the Char. I mean, they kind of died when I was trying to save them, but okay. Whew. You hear the news? We're saved. What's in your mind, friend? What news? Artifact from Stormcaller has been found. Were we inside the walls of the room, there would be great rejoicing. Stormcaller? The mouthpiece of the legendary horn of King Doric. Surely you've seen the pipes of the horn itself up on Horn Hill outside of Rin. Humour me. I can turn that fucking light off now. That I've done reading a book. The horn is a powerful weapon. They say that the sound of the billowing pipes will render helpless the enemies of Ascalon. The mouthpiece was lost during the Guild Wars. Those are cool. During the last Guild War. But now that it has been found, it could help us defend the capital against the Char. The horn was placed outside of Rin long before the Great Northern Wall was even built. It was the last line of defense against invaders. I'm afraid it has come to that again. If only we'd found Stormcaller before this year. What are we waiting for? Let's be off to Rin. Couldn't agree with you more, but at last, though the gates of the academy are closed, a small army of Chars mustered outside, ready to sweep in and destroy us all. Prince Rook and my brothers, the Flaming Scepter Mages, have managed to activate the old defences of this place. They hold the Char at bay with the charged magical obelisk near the gate. Still things look bleak. Eventually there will be enough of those beasts to simply overrun us. And Stormcaller will once again be lost to us. What must I do? Prince Rook knows the secret passage out of this academy. You can sneak out and ambush the Char. Perhaps we'll make it out of this alive and return to Rin as heroes. Won't let Stormcaller fall into an enemy hands. When Balthazar are light your path, go with speed. So we came out of there. This is where that story begins that I just read out. It's quite cool that you could go here. And beyond the wall is Horn Hill. Especially that giant crystal. Yeah, there's that crystal in the story. Right, and this is what happens when you go out the gate. When you're not prepared. When you're new and don't know what you're doing. This is what happens when you go out the gate. This is what happened to me on my Survivor tune in the Iron Man run. Bad idea. Wait, where's the gate? Where's the lever? It'll be funny if we can make it past this. Okay, gotta go to bed. It's been a long day. We're awesome, having fun. Alright, good night, Flea. Thank you for coming in and hanging out. Have a good sleep.
Yo ho ho!
Oh no, Direct! Or Grey, whoever did that. Let's go John Wick on everything in the game. If that doesn't work, go Sisu. Oh no! Whatever shall we do? What service am I on? American. So this is what happens if you're in...
Yo ho ho!
Damn it, guys! What are the chances? 101 at least. So the prince retreated, because this is what happened when Sin and that opened the door, and it was too much. So the prince has retreated. And this is what happens when you go for the door at low level. At low level or as a newbie. Do not go through the door. See you later, Flea. Have a good night. So do not go through the door unless you can do it. As long as I control the Subliss, I'll strike any foes who venture near. Char archers have us pinned down. We must not waste time. The lives of our countrymen are at stake. You will need to sneak out the path to the east and ambush those rangers. I'll stay here to help the mages hold off the defences. I'll keep that in mind. It's fun though when you can actually attack them from the front door. This is going to be the last mission of the night. Since it's been a long day. Yeah, this one actually shows them his boss and whatnot. Yeah. What? Wait, Graysu, have you played Guild Wars before? Me? No. Oh. Because sometimes you talk like you have. So I got confused. I've been in similar situations similar to the ones you're playing in. Ah, okay. Guild Wars 1 was a blast, Guild Wars 2 is an explosion. Fishing Kingdoms of Amelu? Amlu? Malu. Why would you buy it twice? Unless it's on two different things. Shouldn't be standing out here if we're just going to talk. Behind is the feet, ahead is victory. Following you, don't ask me. It's such a same game with reshade. Yeah, I brought it for two different systems. Ah, I was gonna say, like, why would you buy it twice unless it's for two different systems? It's not. That's like me with the game Hunted. PlayStation game. I didn't have access to a PlayStation 3. I didn't have access to that for a while, so I bought it on Steam. Or I don't know if I bought it or waited till it was free. I still enjoyed it. And it had all the armor that I didn't buy the first time. I got it from GOG. I literally just did this mission in hard mode before, just to pull out the book so I can read it after I do this in normal mode. See if I can get the imp close enough to attack him. Yay! Cool, where's my guild wars? MP, not gonna do it? Oh, there you go. Ow. Oh yeah, take that small damage that I'm giving you with my bow. Oh, hang on. I can actually use my bow. Totally forgot. This is what I was equipped for. I don't know what the game even is, so... Wouldn't have a clue. And I don't want you to spend money on me on a game that I might not like. That was kind of the whole point of the shared Steam account, but we know how that ended. Thank you though, Gray. Like, yeah, like I don't even know what you're talking about. We're gonna get it for the shared account. Well, we don't have the shared account though. That's the thing. Cause... Yeah. Cause it got axed. Cause it seems suspicious. Four years, 9 months, 20 days, 4 hours ago. Yeah, so I had my Twitch account before I started streaming. But wow, 4 hours ago? It was created 4 years, 9 months, 20 days, 4 hours ago. And then my affiliate is this month. Tomorrow. I main love for combos. And I want to multiplayer game, MMOs, except guilds and war. Happy anniversary. Thank you, thank you. It's also... It's also my account's, my Guild Wars account's birthday month, which is quite funny. My Guild Wars account is 20 years old. I think. I don't know, it was originally my brother's. Well, it's across all characters you have played blah 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 over the past 240 months. And you guys worked it out that it's this month that this account was created. Too bad you don't get account birthdays. Oh, stop popping up! My girl's account is 28 days old. Please adopt me, mummy. Hi, Skay. How are you? I actually don't know how to pronounce your name. I think we had this conversation last time. Fine, working on my Defender base squad. Oh. Good luck. What level are you? Is this your first one? Damn, Onion. Onion tanking over here. Oh. Your first one, I guess it's just farming the daily quest. I'm not rushing. Ah, fair enough. What level are you? System Shock close to the Darth Vader simulator. System Shock remake is 10 out of 10. Since the controls are streamlined now, you feel a little less like Vader overall. 15? Oh, nice. My main pre-tune, I think, is either 15 or 16. I finally got her up one level like a year or two ago. Cause I'm like, oh, I've done it like 4 fucking times or so. I'm not really interested in doing LDOA anytime soon. So waiting for System Shock 2 remake. Oh no, not the flies! Whoa, I didn't know you can walk on this. Where are you running? Bro, we're over here. Hello. Mods? Uh-oh. You're talking about mods? We've got a mod god in the stream. Nyrex. For Skyrim, at least. Mods. Ban that carrot. Wow. Mods? Darks was like, I want to know. What mods are you using? Aha! I can hit them from here. Oh, I can hit that one from here. How to survive while stuck with henchies. Manual 1000. No, but some games you need mods, carrot. I can't wait to try the Hogwarts mods. You know, when I can actually finish the story, when the game actually fucking lets me finish the story. You should have heard it pretty good. Hello, BC. Are you talking to me, Nyrex? The built-in mods. Hogwarts Legacy has mods. I wonder if there's a Hermione looking one, because I'd love to play as Hermione. What the fuck, camera? Ah, damn it! These guys are all over the place. I'm trying to body block them. I don't know if that's friendly fire or bad fire. That's friendly fire. That's onion fire. Don't mind me, I have no idea what you guys are talking about now. I just kind of zone out when you guys have your own conversation. Bird! Shut up, Royal. No one asked for your onions. I'm also seeing me zoning out carrot. I'm just going with the flow. Yeah, and funny enough, this mission seems to be nearing around the time that I end stream anyway. So it works out well. Yeah, onion. He's labelled as a mage henchman. He uses his postering appearance in the Ascalon Academy mission. Wait, does he? Oh, no, the Ascalon Academy. We're not in the Ascalon Academy. Exactly, works out for all of us, yeah. Well, hang on a darn minute. Norix! Shouldn't you be asleep? Yeah, Norix. You're normally long gone. I should be a bit more abrasive. Fuck you, no sleep. Oh. Alright, clip coming up. Don't spam shit, please. If you want to see my old school corn system.
Prince Rurik, what are you doing out here?
Open this door. You will let us through.
But sir, the king swore death if the door was opened.
And I swear death if you don't stand aside this instant.
Yes, my prince.
I love corn. I listen to him all the time.
I defend Ascalon against another Char invasion. And my father trifles with doors.
You'll speak to the king, won't you? You'll tell him I had no choice.
Although I have more Linkin Park on my iPod.
By Balthazar's beard, Rin burns. I told the king the charm
Yeah.
would not be held for long. We must get to Hornhill. Only Stormcaller can save the city now.
Right. Come on, Flaming Scepter Mage, we have no time to lose. Go back, my audio died. As long as I control Soul so it will strike any foes who venture near. I'm going this way, but I still want to trigger the middle clip. Turns out it still does trigger. That actually does sound ancient. I was more into mainstream house music. Because it triggered during hard mode when I was at the end. I was like, what the fuck? Well, these fuckers are too far out. You guys can fucking on a rescue. No. Aww. I need my little army. Someone hear this bitch. Alicia, do your duty. My little army. Kinda cared about a crash out. I'm surprised after today I'm not. After the fucking crying. Welcome back. Hornhill. The faster way to get there. Although I thought the prince might randomly be here. Oh no, one died. No, get off them! Oh. Sorry, buddies. Right, where the fuck is the prince gone? Why did he trigger the clip in hard mode, but he's not triggering the clip in normal mode? Oh, there he is. I was never super into the scenes or whatever it was. Does he not randomly ping? They've got this prince. How the fuck do you get here? Do you actually go through that group? I can't remember. I think he goes through that group. What the chips? How the fuck do I get to them? Oh, she's got the right idea. No, get off my last subject! Oh, they're all dying. Hurry the fuck up! Okay, clip. Clip is gonna be activated soon. Horn Hill. Look how effective the horn is when he blows it. I seriously feel like it's a fucking waste of time.
Praise be to Duena if this works.
It stops the flames and makes it rain. But other than that, it just makes him angry. Although I think maybe the flames going out is meant to weaken them, I think. Oh, it lowers the char's health points, does it? Hi, Rima. The cats, they don't like water, I guess. Maybe. Oh, it lowers the HP. Yeah. How did you know that? Or figure that out? Like... Let's have a fast... No. Don't fucking die right here. I'm gonna be pissed if you die right here. Okay, unless someone kills some NPC in the stream. I'd rather not, because the NPC that could die is Prince Rurik. Thank you very much. And I have to do it all over again. Story time.
Trumpets. The king must
No,
be
I'm just
near.
doing story.
The fall of Rin will have darkened his heart.
There's my little army. What's the rest?
Hail King
The last of it?
Adelbern!
Oh, those soldiers are deadly fired for not kneeling. The fuck? Did he just die?
Rise, my son. You have done well. The discovery of Stormcaller
Awkward.
is surely a sign of victory.
It is a powerful weapon,
Dumbledore's army.
but I fear not powerful enough. The Char have amassed an army of many thousands.
You overestimate these beasts, Rurik. Do not be afraid.
I am not afraid, Father. I have seen them in battle. Rin has been destroyed. It would be wise to escape while we can. We should make for Kryta and rebuild our strength, not wait here for death.
I will never allow Ascalons to live in the shadow of the Krytons. It is Rin that will be rebuilt. And you will learn your place.
You have grown proud, Adelbern of Ascalon. Proud and foolish.
You would dare call your king a fool?
Yes.
I will hear no more. I banish you from Ascalon. You are no longer my prince, and you are no longer my son.
People of Rin, your king will lead you to death. If you wish to see better days, if you wish to live, then leave the beasts behind and follow me over the Shiver Peaks. We make for Kryta and a new life, free of the Char.
I'm gonna end soon, Nyrix. So we'll see you later. Thank you for hanging out though, and I hope you get some sleep. Oi, that NPC totally died during that cutscene, didn't it? Because I heard the thud of when someone dies. And then that NPC was on the ground. I gotta go back and click that. Yeah, I'm sure the Scepter Mage died in the clip. Was he? Was he already there? But I heard something. No, that's just indigestion, not marines. What the hell was I on back then? No, he's already dead. You walked over him before the cutscene. Oh, is it one of those ones? Because I heard something and I thought that he died. That's fucking hilarious. Oh, that would have been funny if he died in the cutscene. I was like, what? Oh, that would have been amazing to see if that's what happened. Nolani Academy. The prince and our young hero found Nolani in no better shape than the academy just grew. A Char had surrounded the academy and laid siege to its walls. Rurik's timely arrival was a godsend as he still carried the mouthpiece for Stormcaller. With the young hero's help, Rurik pushed through the Char lines and made his way to Rin. Here the prince set the mouthpiece in place and used the legendary weapon against Ascalon's mortal enemies, bringing victory to the day. King Adelbern arrived to congratulate his son on the victory and to call for a renewed push against the Char, but in the ruins of Rin, father and son argued bitterly about how to lead the country during this time of war. King Adelbern arrived to congratulate his son on the victory and to call for a renewed push against the Char, but in the ruins of Rin, father and son argued bitterly about how to lead the country during this time of war. Rurik argued that they should retreat across the mountains to Kryta and regroup. The king, having lived through the guild wars, still viewed Kryta as a bitter enemy and declared they would never abandon Ascalon to the Char. In defiance, Rourke rallied the people around to flee with him into the Shiver Peaks. In response, Adabin declared he had no son. Dun dun dun. One thing I didn't do, because these guys have a little bit of lore. Well, not quite lore, but... Orion, maybe you've heard of me. I'm famous in these parts of my dazzling smile and my penchant for spectacular displays of fire magic. Women adore me, other elementals want to be me. Tell you, it's tough sometimes being so well loved. Now, don't be shy. Just because I'm famous doesn't mean I'm not willing to help a fellow fortune seeker. About that, I don't know if they changed them throughout the time. Wait, I can't click on it? Oh, there. Raina, most people call me Eagle Eye. That's because I'm the best ranger on the side of the Tarnish coast. If you're looking for adventure, then you'll be needing someone to watch your back. Someone who knows these lands like the back of your hand. My bow is at your service, just say the word. Dumb ham! Things certainly have changed after the searing. Life has become a constant struggle for survival. However, one must never abandon one's sense of pride and dignity. Stefan, are you here to just talk, or is there some real bravery in that gut of yours? My sword is sharp, my shield is strong, and I'm itching for a good fight. Are you going to stand there today, or are we going to find some trouble? Call me sister, all my friends do. I'm an adherent of the mystical arts and a follower of the mother goddess Dwayna. I'm skilled at healing magic. Yeah, right. I'm resurrecting those who fall during battle. It's part of my training to become a high priestess in the Church of Dwayna. The elders require that I offer my services to those who are in need. I was once a dedicate of Dwayna. Since the searing, I was watching all that I knew and love passion from my eyes. I felt the call of Gwent from my soul. What do you think awaits us in the great beyond? I could never get into the isometric angle girls one. I was stuck to the over-the-shoulder look. Oh, really? Don't tell anyone you've seen me. I've got a few unpaid debts, if you know what I mean. I'm a survivor, that's for sure. Word of advice, when I get started, you best stay out of my way. For when I'm in the midst of combat, I often cleave so mightily that I'll slice through friend only to encounter foe. Or was it the other way around? I forget. Alright. So we're at Yak's Bend. I need to do some more missions in hard mode so I can read it. Oh, look at that! 9 o'clock! When you spend so much time getting the elite armor, you want to see it at all times. Alright. 2:20 AM here. Dang. Thank you all for watching. Thank you everyone for hanging out. Thank you, Gray, for the bits earlier. You're welcome. Nice to meet you. Hopefully we'll see you around more. And anyone else, if there's new people that came in, I apologise. I'm shit at remembering anything. Alright. Have a good night, all. Watch your back, Carrot. Dun dun dun. I don't know if I waved just before. Alright. See you next time. Tomorrow is official anniversary. Affiliate anniversary. Are you going offline? I'll be around in Discord. But yeah. I'm ending stream and logging out. Thank you. Alright. See you later.